I'm Frankie Macmillan. I'm the Unit Director for a unit called Physiology 1, an overview of mammalian physiology. This unit runs throughout the whole year and it covers how bodies function and how they relate to their environment. We focus specifically on mammalian physiology with special reference to humans, and so you would be able to relate what you're learning about to yourself. We make special emphasis on practical work in the unit, as this is particularly important when learning a science subject. And the practicals cover a wide variety of topics, such as measuring the electrical activity in your heart, measuring how fast your nerves conduct, and you would make several visits to our simulator suite where you can look at aspects of physiology, extreme physiology, that you can't measure on yourselves using our human patient simulators. The unit is assessed with a variety of coursework and examinations. The coursework involved is in particular marks that come through from practical work through eBiolabs, which is a dynamic online lab manual which you would use to support your practical teaching. So it contains lots of resources that you would look at before practical classes and a place where you upload your results and answer questions on your experimental work.
I'm Elizabeth and I study biochemistry, and this year I've chosen physiology as my optional unit.
I'm Shota and I study pharmacology and I've chosen physiology.
I decided to choose physiology because biochemistry in the first year, it's quite heavily weighted towards the chemistry side, and I enjoy both biology and chemistry. So I decided to pick an optional unit that would have more biology in it, which is what physiology does.
I've learned a lot through physiology. I think it's really helpful because regardless of what science you do in this faculty, it's so many things that you learn in physiology now are going to help you in the other things that you learn later. So it kind of gives you a basic outline of lots of the things about the human body, from hair to the heart to eyes and your brain. So it talks about specific reactions, and it zooms into like specific things, but it also gives you a general outline of the different organ systems that we have in our bodies.
So the prerequisites for studying physiology as a unit are to have studied a science at GCSE level. A-level biology isn't a prerequisite for the unit. However, I have studied A-level biology and I found it extremely useful, just understanding the basic biological concepts. If you haven't studied A-level biology, I think you might have to do some extra reading and extra work just to get your head around things. A-level chemistry was useful for the unit. However, I think if you didn't study A-level chemistry, this wouldn't be a disadvantage. We're assessed in the unit in a number of different ways throughout the year. There are end-of-unit exams, as would be expected. There's also a number of essays to write throughout the year, some of which are assessed and some of which are for practice. We also have labs which are assessed. For each lab we have to do a pre-lab and a post-lab test, and we also do a 3-week extended practical, which is where you work in groups and organise, plan and carry out your own experiment, and then you have to write it up and present it.